got the top spot in the AL Central. Coco Crisp, the batter, and a ball and a strike to count. The Rangers at 4-7 are tied with the Angels for third in the AL West. Surprising Seattle's on top. And Vicente Padilla needing to make a statement today. Last time out, it did not go well. He allowed 11 hits in 3 1/3 innings. In fact, the last 5 batters he faced in that game against Baltimore all got base hits. And there's Coco Crisp, barely fouled down that third base line. Tony Randazzo, the third base umpire, said so.
I think the key to Vicente in that last start against Detroit was he just didn't have as good fastball. Hopefully he will today.
We'll check out the Royals batting order, and Alberto Callaspo turning 26 years old today. 5 for 7 in this series. We'll get you back to Padilla in just a moment. The ERA for the year is an even 10 after 2 starts. That's a good pitch right there on Coco Crisp. All right, as for Vicente Padilla, what you need to know right here.
He's had 2 starts this year. His last start was 3 1/3, 7 runs against the Tigers. Left-hand hitters have been tough on him. 444 average. Right-hand batters he's handled pretty well. Career against the Royals has gone okay. I think what you look for from Vicente today is the return of his fastball, because he tried everything he had against the Tigers because he didn't have a good fastball, and it just didn't work. I think the key for Vicente is to have that good fastball and then work off of that.
There are some pretty good pitchers around the American League that are off to slow starts. And again, most guys have only had 2 starts. Some of them have had 3. Fly ball from Mike Aviles shooting out to center. Look at Chin-Ming Wong with an ERA of 38.10 right now. Daisuke Matsuzaka's on the DL with an ERA of 12.8. Here's the Rangers defense. Murphy, Hamilton, and Cruz out there in the outfield. Young, Andrews, Kinsler, and Blaylock giving Chris Davis a day off at first base. Taylor Teagarden is in instead of Saltalamacchia doing the catching. 3rd start this year for Taylor. Talking about Daisuke Matsuzaka tag, there are those, I'm sure, in Red Sox Nation, while they're happy that he did so well for Japan in that World Baseball Classic, they got to be a little bit curious right now to see if those 2 complete games he threw for Team Japan have anything to do with his stay on the DL right now.
Yeah, you know, you don't know for sure.
DeJesus flares one into the crowd. Now the Red Sox are off to a 5-6 start. The Yankees could be 6-7 if they don't rally today. They're getting shut down by, of all people, Carl Pavano. The guy that spent 4 injury-plagued years as a Yankee, gave them all of 9 wins. At least it's not 22-4 today. That was the score by which the Yankees lost yesterday. High pop-up. Michael Young battles the glare of the sun and gives it up. Lets Andrews take it instead. Nice, quick, clean inning for Vicente Padilla. Kinsler and the guys ready to come in and hit. The Royals have outscored the Rangers 14-3 in this series so far, but the Royals did not score in the top of the first today. Here come the Rangers against Kyle Davies. And the Southwest Airlines starting lineup, Kinsler hitting a robust .457. Then it's Young and Hamilton, and Andrew Jones is in hitting .545. 6 out of 11 in part-time duty. Blaylock and Cruz, Murphy and Teagarden, Elvis Andrews. .367 batting average. Not bad for a rookie. Kyle Davies on the mound, no longer a rookie. He's 25. Same age as yesterday's Kansas City starter, Zach Greinke, who was phenomenal. We'll talk a lot more about the Zach Greinke-Kevin Millwood showdown of yesterday as we go along. That was yesterday. Let's talk right now. Let's talk Kyle Davies.
He's had 2 starts this year, and they've gone well. .213 ERA. Good opponent's slugging percentage. Back a while, he was a 4th-round draft choice for the Braves.
Kinsler's not impressed by any of that. Slams it into center field. When Davies first pitched in this ballpark as an Atlanta Brave, he gave up 5 runs in the first inning to the Rangers. What was a short afternoon for him. The Royals defense, and again Kansas City 7-4 at game time today. Kyle Davies, who came up in the Braves system with Jared Saltalamacchia. Salty's not in the lineup today, but was happy to tell everybody on this Rangers team what he remembered about this talented right-hander.
Looking at Davies' career, he's really shown a lot of improvement recently. You go back to last September when he pitched very well for Kansas City, and then of course his start to this season. One of the big reasons is he's really improved his control.
Kinsler with the jump. He is safe at second base with his 5th steal of the season.
Pretty good throw right there by John Buck, but good speed and a good jump for Ian.
Only 2 American Leaguers have more steals than Ian now. They're both Angels. Bobby Abreu's got 6 and Sean Piggins has 7.
If you go back to the first 17 starts that Davies had last year, he walked 4 batters per 9 innings. Since that time, he's cut it in more than half. He's only walked 1.6 per 9 innings. And I'm sure that has a lot to do with the improvement that he's shown.
Michael Young, the batter. And what you're talking about with Davies' tag, I guess that's just getting with the program, because, for example, Greinke yesterday, no walks, 10 strikeouts.
Yeah, that was about as impressive a game as you'll see from a pitcher this year. I can't imagine anyone's going to throw much better than that against the Rangers. I mean, occasionally a guy will ease into a game like that with some great defensive plays, some hard hit balls right at people. And the Rangers hit some balls pretty well against Greinke yesterday, but when you don't walk a batter, you're throwing 91 to 94 miles an hour with a good curveball, a really good slider, and a good changeup. All 4 pitches working with good control. That's just going to add up to a good game against anybody.
And the hard luck loser was Kevin Millwood in that game as Michael Young draws a walk to set it up for Mr. Hamilton. We are told it's just the 3rd time in the 14+ seasons of this ballpark that both starting pitchers went the distance. And the first time since 1996 when Roger Pavlik outdueled Jack McDowell. Kevin Millwood, the first ever complete game loss by a Ranger in a complete game duel since this stadium has been open.
No, it's a shame to get a loss the way he pitched yesterday, and a no decision the way he pitched the game before that in Detroit. Kevin could easily be 3-0.
We've talked a lot about Josh Hamilton not getting a chance to take a rip at first pitch fastballs this year, and you saw 83 miles an hour off the plate in the first volley of this at bat between Davies and Hamilton. Runner goes from second to third. Kinsler head first. Another double steal as Young trails on the play. 4 double steals for the Rangers on this homestand.
Well, you can say the Rangers haven't played very well on this homestand, but you can't say Ron Washington hasn't been aggressive and hasn't tried to make things happen. You know, maybe one time the double steal catches the other team by surprise, but it shouldn't be a surprise now. 4 times in 6 games. It helps to have the right guys on the bases too. Rangers have a number of guys that can pull that play off.
Well, great RBI chance for Hamilton. The infield back. Runners at second and third. And again, his very first start at this ballpark, it took him, well, 4 runs in before he got his first out. He ended up giving up 5 in the first, 1 in the second, then was pulled in the third.
Well, Gary Pettis is an excellent base running coach. He has mapped out every starting pitcher in the league. He knows their move. Before the game starts, every Ranger player has seen the move. They know the move. They talk to Gary about it. And when they get on base, they don't just look and try to figure out what's going on. They already know what's going on. Obviously, Ian is one of his better pupils. And a good changeup again by Davies.
Pettis was a stolen base guy himself in the early to mid 80s. Hamilton down on strikes.
All off speed.
Nothing for Josh to drive. You're right. It's going to be Andrew Jones coming up.
That's 3 changeups in that at bat.
Other thing about Gary Pettis, by the way, he was a Gold Glover a couple times over. And the man settling in at home plate right now, Andrew Jones, a 10-time Gold Glover with those Atlanta Braves. Andrew knows his role early as a Texas Ranger, kind of a part-time guy, but all you can do is make the most of your given opportunities. And boy, Andrew Jones has done that.
He's a part-time guy, but he has been prepared to play every inning of the season if his name is called. Whether it's a defensive replacement, which hasn't happened, pinch hitter, which has happened, or occasional starter. He's ready. Doing a lot of extra work to stay ready. He's feeling good about where he is right now. He's feeling good about being on the team and just looking forward to every opportunity he can get.
And Ian Kinsler weighs in on that, our Geico quote for the day. Last year as an LA Dodger, it was falling to earth with a thud. Fell right off the cliff and into the ravine as an LA Dodger last year. He was bent to make sure that he bounced back from all that. Jones born in April of 1977 when the Braves were at absolute low ebb. They were terrible in the mid to late 70s. In fact, the actual day that Jones was born, the Braves began a 17-game losing streak. That's the one that prompted Ted Turner to try to manage the team himself, which did not go real well.
How'd that go?
Not good. In fact, the commissioner's office stepped in and said, "Get out of the dugout. You don't belong in there."
That's where the commissioner's powers range to that blanket statement for the overall good of the game. Get out of the dugout.
A 17-game losing streak. That's that would qualify as low ebb for any franchise. Back in 1988, on this date tag, the Orioles were 0-16 on their way to 0-21. And that is the all-time standard for ineptitude to start a season. 21 consecutive losses. So the Washington Nationals feel better about themselves this year. They're 1-9. Down low to Andrew Jones. Loaded up And Hank Blaylock to the plate. We were just talking about Hank to start the broadcast, and a guy that continues to kind of sit under the radar. All the attention that Hamilton gets, and Young and Kinsler and Nellie Cruz, Elvis Andrus now, but it's a solid start to 09 for Hank.
Yeah, we talked about it in the pregame show, or the open maybe. Anytime you have a game like Hank had last night against a guy throwing the ball like Zach Greinke, you know you're swinging the bat pretty well. He lined a triple in the gap. He had a single off the wall. A hard hit ball to second, and he flied out to left to a guy that didn't walk a batter and struck out 10.
Already 2 walks in this inning from Davies, and he had come in today with only 3 all year. I think Greinke simply set the bar impossibly high for Kyle Davies today. Kansas City's first complete game shutout in a little more than 3 years was Greinke yesterday. There's that last pitch to Blaylock.
Good movement on it, too. Good location. Tailed away and caught the corner.
Fouled away, and the count 1-2. One of the loudest, longest, hardest hit singles you'd ever want to see last night. Hank Blaylock just missed, taking it out. He also had a triple in that game with nobody out, and the Rangers couldn't get him in. Now, just to finish up on Greinke here, Tag, I mean, so much to throw his way in terms of accolades from yesterday, but that's the 3rd time now he's had a no-walk 10 strikeout game. He's the only Royal ever that can say that. Not Busby, not Saberhagen, not Splittorff. They had some real good pitchers, but Zach Greinke at 25 has already done that 3 times. Blaylock pokes it out towards left. DeJesus settles under it. Kinsler set to tag. A sac fly RBI for Hank Blaylock. 1-0 Rangers.
Well, good at bat, too. He's behind in the count. Tough pitch away. Get the bat on the ball, though. That's the key.
First time in this series that the Rangers have scored a run without it being a solo home run.
That was a real tough pitch. It was actually outside, but Hank reached for it and made contact. That's what you have to do in that situation. Definitely don't want to waste a second and third no-out opportunity.
Well, a lot of off-speed stuff for these Rangers so far today. Nellie Cruz leading the team in home runs, and this is a Ranger team that leads the majors in hitting home runs. And this ballpark in general, not a surprise that it would be a bit of a launching pad, but even with just 1 home run hit here between the 2 teams yesterday, so far on average this year, it's been 4.5 home runs per game between the Rangers and their opponents here. We were talking about New Yankee Stadium yesterday, Tag. The average there has been 5 2/3 home runs per game.
Yankees a little worried about that because it looks like the visiting team's hitting their share of them, too.
Former Ranger Mark DeRosa having a huge series. He's up to 15 runs batted in for the year, second in the league. And remember, he started the year 0 for 12. That gives hope, by the way, to the guy on deck. That's David Murphy, who was still hitless for the season himself. Murph not the first guy to stumble out 0 for something. Mark Teixeira had an 0 for 15 a couple years ago to start the year. Down and outside, so loaded up for David Murphy. 3 walks in the inning.
Well, we're talking about Davies. The big improvement he's made over his last 7 or 8 starts going back to last year has been his control. But he's having a hard time with his command right now. He'd love to get a hit right here to take advantage of it.
Bob McClure will head to the mound. He shares a birthday with Ranger manager Ron Washington. Not just the day, but the year. They were born the exact same date of the exact same year. Wash will have that birthday in a week and a half.
When's McClure going to have his?
Same day.
Same day?
I would say about a week and a half. Bob McClure has had this gig since '07. The Royals had rifled through 8 pitching coaches in 9 years' time before he arrived, and they like what he's done. Well, Davies has walked as many batters in this inning as he had in his entire first 2 starts combined. And here is David Murphy, 0 for 15. First pitch strikes have just not been there for Kyle Davies. He's up very close to 30 pitches already. The Houston native David Murphy will again check and take down too low, 2-0.
Boy, if you swing here, you have to make sure it's a good pitch. After walking Cruz on 4 pitches, 4 balls that weren't really close, and nowhere near the strike zone on the first pitches to David, with the bases loaded and a 2-0 count, be a good time to look at one. But if you do swing, you have to narrow it down to an exact location, and if you don't get it, take it.
That wasn't close. 3 balls, no strikes. Teagarden on deck. That's 7 straight balls thrown by Davies.
I think right here you have to take a couple strikes. See if you can throw 3 strikes in a row. Bases loaded, trying to get another run in here.
Control is an issue for Kyle Davies. It's 2-0 Texas. That's 20 balls against 12 strikes in this inning. 8 in a row out of the zone. This is the final by which the Rangers lost last night, 2-0. We mentioned just the 3rd start for Taylor here in '09. Well, the Rangers have scored 12 runs and 10 runs in those 2 games that he started before today. Rangers love what they have at that catcher's position. Saltalamacchia and Teagarden. Max Ramirez waiting in the wings. 10 in a row.
It's just out of nowhere, too, because as you mentioned, Josh, he'd only walked 3 all season. Going back to last year, his command had really improved. But today it's been a struggle for him.
He's got that kind of perplexed look out there, too. Like, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
It's not a bad take right there, though, right? After 10 in a row.
You have to take right there. And you got a good look at him. You see 3 fastballs. I think if you're Davies and you get out of the inning right here, you feel pretty fortunate.
Well, so far in this inning, it hadn't exactly been the bashing at Texas Rangers. It's been 4 walks and 3 stolen bases. Two of those steals by Kinsler, who's up to a half a dozen for the year already, to go with 13 runs batted in. And here will come the 37th pitch of this bottom of the first inning from Kyle Davies. Eventually. Davies dealt over from the Braves in the summer of '07 for Octavio Dotel. With the bases loaded. Breaking ball struck him out. 2 strikeouts in the inning, but 4 walks, and the Rangers lead by 2.
Dr.
Rangers trying to salvage a finale of this 3-game series against Kansas City, leading by 2 as we go to Jim Knox.
All right, thank you, Josh. In Community Corner, we have Allison Davis, along with her little son. That is Jordan. And who do we have down here?
This is Alexander.
Alexander, good to have you. She is with It's My Heart, a great organization that helps little kids who are actually trying to recover from heart defects.
Yes, sir. The heart defects are the #1 birth defect of children in this country and in the world, affecting 1 in approximately 60 children.
That's hard to believe.
Yes, it's affecting everybody. As you can tell, 1 in 60, that's a huge number. So our goal is to spread an awareness so that people are more aware and comfortable with heart defects and how they're impacting the world.
All right, for those who want to get involved, what do they need to do, Allison?
If they will log on to www.itsmyheart.org, and you can go under chapters and find our Fort Worth chapter, and all of our information about contacting any of us is there.
All right, great. Keep up the good work. Jordan, you want this mic, huh? It looks
Sure
good, doesn't it?
does.
He's just salivating over here for this mic. All right, appreciate it. Thank you, Allison. Great work. Thank you, Josh.
Thanks, Jim. And Padilla slipping as he comes off the mound. Andrews unable to make a play on Billy Butler. That'll be an infield hit, and the Royals get their first base runner. That's a cleanup batter taking a big swing and just kind of sent a dribbler past the mound. That's a rare infield hit for Butler.
Now, Elvis had a shot at him. Butler's not a fast runner, but he had a shot at him if he could have scooped it. Easier said than done. Do or die play on the dead run, trying to barehand it. But if he was able to barehand it, get something on his throw, he might have had a shot at Butler.
And it brings up Mark Teahan. With Alex Gordon on the DL, Teahan gets a chance to play a lot of third going forward for KC. Gordon's having that same hip surgery that Alex Rodriguez has had to have. So where A-Rod is targeting a May 15th return to the New York Yankees. So they'll have been playing for 10 days when the Rangers and the Yankees get together here at the ballpark. Said Yankees are trailing Cleveland 3-2 in the 7th inning. Home run number 3 for Shin-Soo Choo. Mark Teahen will take a strike. Teahen, originally an Oakland A's draft pick. You might remember him from the book Moneyball, which soon, Mr. Grieve, is going to be a major motion picture.
Really?
That deal is done.
Wow.
Moneyball the movie. And you will never guess who's playing Billy Bean.
Billy Bean?
Nope. Brad Pitt.
Wow.
Has been cast.
Wow. I would have cast Billy himself. I think Billy could have done that.
Rick Peterson is going to play himself.
Is he?
The pitching coach, Now the pitching coach for the Mets, but was the pitching coach for the A's at the time. That's your Entertainment Tonight report for April 19th. I'm Mary Hart. Got him with a breaking ball, and well, if it was good enough for Davies to get Teagarden, it's good enough for Padilla to get Mark Teahen.
A good assortment of pitches there with nice location too. Fastball on the outside corner. And got the call with number 5. Trying to drop it on the outside corner.
That'll bring up Mike Jacobs, who's got a home run in this series. The former Florida Marlin. And the Fish off to that 10-1 start. The darlings of baseball right now. Saw something today, Tom, where the Marlins, since Jeffrey Loria purchased that team, that was 2002. Somebody did a comparison about what the Marlins have spent on payroll compared to what the Mets have spent. They're in that same division, of course. And obviously it's not close. Give you the numbers in just a moment. That ball is down and in to Jacobs. Florida has spent $253 million. The Mets have spent $761 million. And in terms of number of wins for their respective franchises, it's exactly even.
Boy,
it's a dead heat, and one team has spent $508 million more than the other.
Well, it just goes to show you how you can be rewarded for good scouting and good player development.
Which gets us to the Rangers situation, and as Ranger fans know, 2009 going forward to 2010, 2011, etc. The emphasis has been on growing your own. And whether or not the fruits of all that will ripen here in 09, that's still kind of remaining to be seen. But Baseball America has said this is the #1 farm system in all of baseball. That's what the Rangers are committed to.
The other thing the Marlins have done, they've made some good trades too. They've acquired some good young players, and getting back to the Rangers, they've done the same thing. Trade for Mark Teixeira brought in a lot of good young players. The Marlins have scouted, they've developed, and they've traded for young players.
Marlins trying to sweep the Washington Nationals, but right now the Nats lead that game 3-2 in the 6th inning.
There were 5 shutouts in baseball yesterday, and already there's one today. Toronto shut out Oakland 1-0.
Ricky Romero 7 innings for the win as Padilla moves that one inside to Jacobs.
Boston shutting out Baltimore. Chicago shutting out Tampa Bay late in both games.
What is it with all the pitching all of a sudden?
Well, it's like a little bit of really good pitching and a little bit of really bad pitching. Not much in between.
Well, again, yesterday we had the showcase. We had Millwood against Greinke. Dueling complete games at the ballpark. Only the 3rd time that had ever happened. Ricky Romero today, 7 innings of 4-hit baseball. The Rangers will not see him when they go to Toronto next. They will see Roy Halladay, though. He's 3-0.
Toronto's doing a nice job of bringing out guys to replace guys that are hurt. Markham, McGowan, both hurt to start the season. Bring up Ricky Romero, and he's pitched really well for him early in the season.
Pop back into the crowd. Yeah, Toronto's the first place team in the AL East right now at 10-4. Those Red Ranger caps being given away to all the fans today. Got to get your own foul ball, though. She didn't even realize how cool Dad is right now. Butler the lead from first. And Jacob sends it high and deep to the opposite field. Back into the corner it goes. And he's hit it out. 3-2 pitch. Mike Jacobs to the opposite field to tie the game. "32 home runs as a Marlin last year. He's got 4 already as a Royal."
Well, that ball looked like it was going to go far enough off the bat. The only hope was that it would slice to the left of the foul pole, but it never did. It just stayed straight right down the left field line. Pitch up and away. You talked about Jacobs in this series, a kid with good power at 32 home runs last year. Just barely got it in the seats.
Last year, Ross Glode was the first baseman for Kansas City. He had 3 home runs for the year. Jacobs now has 4 home runs. It's April 19th. Big series for Callaspo, 5 hits. And Padilla missing to go to 3-1. With the way that Millwood has started his year, I guess you kind of naturally look to Padilla to say, okay, how about you? Because everybody keeps saying the Rangers will go as far as their 1 and 2 starters can carry them. That's Millwood and Padilla. To right field. Line drive caught by Cruz.
Callaspo hitting .393 coming into the game. Has really swung the bat well, and that's no exception right there. That was a rope.
Now back to Millwood for a second, Tag. You sure couldn't ask for any more out of Millie to start the year. He leads the American League in innings pitched. 7 innings, and 9 innings in his 3 starts so far. There's a strike to Buck. Millwood's got the only 2 complete game losses by a Ranger in the last 5 years now. That includes the one yesterday to Zach Greinke. A little bit outside, 2-1. Millwood is now 4th in the league in ERA. Greinke, of course, leads the league in ERA because it's 0. But after Greinke, it's former Rangers and current Rangers. Armando Galarraga's number 2, John Dank's number 3, Millwood number 4. Brandon McCarthy will get the start next for the Rangers when they hit the road to play Toronto on Tuesday. Busted bat. That is a really long way for a busted bat to go.
That bat split right down the middle of the bat. He's got the length of the bat in his hand. Could use it for a Jimmy Reese fungo now. Jimmy Reese used to slice a bat right down the middle and hit fungos with it. That's the kind of bat control he had.
Longtime Angels coach, right?
Right. In fact, Jimmy Reese is who Nolan named his son Reese after.
When John Buck was left with a sword up there. Ooh, that's a peach, hon. Taylor Teagarden springs out and gets him. A 5-foot ground ball from John Buck. 2-2 tie. Bottom of the second coming up. Here's an Ian Kinsler to get the Rangers going in the bottom of the second. A 2-2 tie. The Rangers trying to grab one game out of this series with Kansas City. As we get going here, our Ford leaderboard. And Elvis Andrus about to bat. He is the top American leaguer in terms of batting average for a rookie. Brian Barden of the Cardinals leading the National League. We're going to see Travis Snyder of Toronto on Tuesday. The surprising Blue Jays, 10-4, the first American League team that gets 10 wins. Rangers trying to get to 5-7 with a win today. Of course, they started the year 3-0, but on a bit of a slide right now. And Kyle Davies having all kinds of issues getting the ball over. That's 24 balls against only 15 strikes. Andrews swings. That ball taking off to right, but Mitch Myers got it. Brings up the man who leads the league in total bases. That's your Rangers leadoff hitter, Mr. Ian Kinsler. He had the most exciting night of any Ranger game probably this year. That 6-for-6 game with the cycle. Cycles have been coming fast and furious, Tag. There have been 3 already this year.
I know.
6 in Major League Baseball just since last August.
I don't think there's any strange phenomenon going on that would increase the odds to get a cycle, other than it's just one of those statistical aberrations that occur every now and then in baseball.
Global warming, maybe?
Doubt it.
No.
Don't think it's anything to do with the ball, the parks, the weather.
Wasn't too long ago that no-hitters and cycles were pretty much dead even. You were as likely to see one as the other. But there have been fewer no-hitters lately and more cycles. The research that we're provided says since 1995, it's now 53 cycles to 23 no-hitters. Kinsler is going to smash that one way up there, down the line, gone! Home run for Kinsler. fantasy team, you got to be hoping you're playing him today. He's got 2 steals and a home run in 2 innings.
Hey, if he's on your fantasy team and you're not playing him, you don't deserve your fantasy league team.
You're going to revoke your franchise.
Well, that same curveball has had some success to other guys in the lineup, but not right there to Ian. He lifted it in the back of the stands in the lower level.
Young follows up with a grounder to short. Teagarden struck out on a curveball to end the first inning. Taking a look at it, this curveball was hammered out of here by Kinsler. I know it's early. I know you hate projecting things, Tag, because we're about at 1/13 of the way done with the season, if that. But already Kinsler's got 4 home runs and 6 stolen bases, and that projects to an unbelievable guy to have on your fantasy team. Look out. Bat goes way out of the hands of Hamilton. That's about 120 feet on the bat throw.
Yeah, I don't know too much about projections this early in the year, but I think you look at what Ian did last year until he got hurt through 120 games. And if you want to project what he's going to do this year, I think you project pretty much right where he was last year. And if he stays healthy all the year, just prorate that performance over the course of the season. And the one thing that you might be able to add to as time goes on, I think gradually Ian will hit more home runs and steal more bases. The other thing I think he's going to improve on is cutting down careless errors in the field. We've already seen that this year. And if those things happen, we're talking about one of the best players in the league. We're talking about that anyway. But he really goes near the top of the list when those things happen.
But we can't project these numbers, so he's not going to have a 58 homer, 89 stolen base
Well, I'm not going to say no because he's got a lot of talent. I think it's unlikely when you project those kind of numbers. Otherwise, you go back a couple of years, and how many home runs would he have had when he had, what, 10 in April?
It would have been more than 58.
Yeah.
Well, he's got 4 this year. Hamilton strikes out for a second time today, but boy, Kinsler's been spot on all year. Rangers 3, Royals 2.
Leadoff walk, a sacrifice, and infield hit.
Butler fouls one. He had an infield hit himself last inning. He is 6'2", 240. Not a guy that makes his living beating out infield hits. Bouncing away from Teagarden and down to second base. Into scoring position goes to Jesus.
Taylor shifted his weight, got down on that ball and blocked it. Just with the spin on it, just hit off his chest protector, kicked away from him.
Padilla goes right at him this time. And a sea of red at the ballpark today. Those Red Ranger caps being given away, and you scan the crowd. It's kind of a neat shot right there. See all the red. But the boys in blue have been providing a real good opponent here for the Rangers all weekend. Kansas City. On the ground, Andrews takes the big hop, plants, fires, and got him. One run in to tie it up. Now the Rangers to the plate against Kyle Davies. Texas Ranger Baseball being brought to you by your Texas Dodge dealers and by Geico Insurance. Great day for baseball. Temperature around 70. The Rangers and Royals having at it. Andrew Jones will be followed by Hank Blaylock and Nelly Cruz here in the last of the third. Huge afternoon for Ian Kinsler so far. He's got a couple of stolen bases. He's got a single. He's got a home run. A lot of our emailers, Tag, are asking Ian Kinsler related questions. And you can email us, by the way, at foxsports.com. Keyword email Rangers. I'm going to run something by you here in just a moment from Ranger fan Jonathan. After Jones sends one way up there. And the third baseman, Tien, backing on it. Can't get it. That banana back. Tough play for Tien.
Yeah, it's a blue sky. He's got sunglasses on. Bright sunshine. got over to the wall, but he misjudged it. It was actually deeper than he thought it was going to be. And see him get there. He's watching it, but it just lands behind him. Not sure he saw that ball all the way, though. It looked like that was right in the middle of the sun. Not much you can do when that happens, even with the sunglasses on and the eye black. He's got it covered.
That ball drilled, foul by Andrew Jones. Tag, Ranger fan Jonathan wants to know, do you foresee a situation maybe where sometime Ian Kinsler moves to the 3-hole and Andrews goes to leadoff, the way Ian is swinging the bat right now?
That could definitely be a possibility down the road. Ian can hit anywhere in the lineup. Right now he's a leadoff hitter and a very good one, but absolutely with a guy that hits for high average, drives the ball, hits for power, can run. That's definitely a third-place hitter, potential third-place hitter. Right now, the way the lineup shakes out, though, leadoff is the most valuable spot for him.
Boy, that ball just fouled down the line. That previous foul ball apparently knocked cotton candy right out of that guy's vending unit. Or did he knock it down with the cotton candy?
And as far as Elvis leading off, sure, down the road, I think one of the things that will determine whether Elvis is a leadoff hitter is whether he adds to his walk total and increases his on-base percentage. But anything's possible for a talented kid who's only 20 years old. You just have to wait and see how it unfolds. But definitely that's a possibility.
Jones finally puts one in fair territory. He's the first out.
Got a couple of people to say hi to, Josh, real quickly.
Sure.
Our friend Cedric Bailey informs us that one of the Rangers' most faithful fans is in the hospital right now. In a minute, I'll find out what his name is.
Hank Blaylock trying to get there before Davies.
Having a hard time reading Cedric's writing. A.D. Harris.
A.D., right.
A.D., we've said hi to A.D. on the air before. He's in the hospital in Fort Worth. A.D., our thoughts are with you, with your wife Myrtle. Both of them live in Forest Hill, one of our best Ranger fans. Hope you get well soon. And one of our best friends in Amarillo is Bill Hayes. Bill is a faithful Ranger fan, faithful viewer of our TV broadcasts. I'd like to say hi to Bill as well.
And all the good Ranger fans out there in Amarillo. We know that there are many. Got a nice email here from Ranger fan Will, who says, hey, Josh and Tag, I am 11 years old. I've been the Rangers' #1 fan since I was 5. He says, I'm going to join Twitter sometime soon, too, if my dad lets me. He says, my dad's on Facebook.
Wow, well, you ought to be on Twitter then.
Well, then, folks, you're welcome to become part of our Twittering. Going to twitter.com, and it's Rangers TV Josh, all one word. We are well over 1,500 Twitterers, Twits, Twit Nation, the Twitterati.
Also like to thank Patty Patek and Gary Gunter for the delicious batch of cookies, and our cookie lady Shirley Coast for the for the butterscotch brownies she set up. Very popular in the press box today. Thank you both, Shirley and Patty. Great Ranger fans.
Hot shot. Nelly Cruz skips it into center field. I'm sure Kyle Davies felt that on his person as it was whistling into center. That's a walk and a base hit for Nelson Cruz today, and it brings up David Murphy. Now, Murphy's still looking for his first hit of 09, but he had the patience and the wherewithal in the first inning to draw the bases loaded walk. Get his first RBI of the year.
Got a birthday wish too. Greg Bubba Gamble, our video man. 60 years old today.
The big 6-0, really?
Happy birthday, Bubba.
Makes all these pictures look just as pretty. Make the red look real red. The blue look just that blue.
Nice of Kurt Dykert to offer to take him out to dinner after the game.
It sure was, wasn't it?
Very nice. Very nice birthday present.
And to celebrate Evan Grant's big debut as part of the pre and post game.
Evan's going to go along with him.
Evan apparently is going on that big dinner.
It's not Evan's birthday, but it's still a big day for him.
That's kind of along the lines of if you had that one dinner where you could invite 4 guests, from any time in history to be at your table. Kurt Dykert, Evan Grant, and Bubba.
I know a Kurt serving too. A little bit of fake crab salad, some tuna salad, some macaroni salad. Have a little picnic.
If there was something out there like chocolate chip salad, butter salad, Curdy would be all over that too.
Kurt swears by the fake crab salad, though.
I got to admit, I like that stuff too. It's good for you. 3-1 pitch, ripped foul back to the net. If you want the real crab salad, by the way, we're going to Baltimore next week. We can get crab anything in Baltimore.
Crab etouffee, crab au gratin.
The runner goes, and Murphy pops it up in the air. My partner's from Bayou La Battery. I had no idea. Thought you were from Pittsfield, Mass. 3-3 tie at the end of 3.
Get it all access behind.
Question from the ballpark here in Arlington today. We're going to talk power and defense here. The only 4 players in Major League history to have a 50 home run season and win a Gold Glove that same year. One of them may be in the ballpark today. All right, here we go. 4th inning. Mark Teahan takes a strike. And Vicente Padilla trying to bounce back from that tough one against the Orioles last time out. He made it only through 3 1/3 in that game. Softly in a right field base hit for Teahan.
That's too bad because that was a good pitch right where Vicente wanted to throw it. Fastball in, jammed him, but still got a hit.
With one on, nobody out, we go to Jim Knox.
All right, thank you, Josh. Over 2,000 Girl Scouts on hand today. It was Girl Scout Day here at the ballpark, and what an honor for this is Catherine Elam. She was awarded the Life-Saving Girl Scout Award for saving her little brother, Andrew. How did that go about? What happened?
We were playing in the living room, and he tipped over, and he ran into the kitchen, and I gave him the Heimlich maneuver.
Right, he had a lifesaver caught in his throat. You saw the Heimlich maneuver on a TV show, and you saved his life.
Yes.
Very nice. Very nice. Andrew, aren't you happy that your sister saved your life, right?
Yes.
Yes, and you're a T-ball player?
Yeah.
All right, good enough. And no more lifesavers, right?
Yes.
Yes, yes, and yes. Way to go, Andrew. All right, congratulations. Thank you very much, Catherine. Josh, yes.
Yes, thank you, Jim, and welcome, everybody. We got a foul ball in the booth. Tag, look out. That's our first one in 5 years.
I wasn't even watching. I was laughing too hard.
You were laughing too hard. I know. Here. Thanks, Johnny boy.
I saw John duck. I'm glad that wasn't coming at me. Oh, boy.
Why were you laughing?
I don't know. Just something hit me.
It was almost a baseball.
Almost twice.
Wow, Mike Jacobs, the batter. Seriously, you and I have been doing games now 8 years together. That's the second foul ball we've ever had in this booth.
It's a prime spot for a ball, but I think we're a little bit higher and farther back than a lot of balls go. You see a ton of balls right in front of us in the stands, but not too many reach this far back. Good power shown right there by Jacobs. And fouled that one off.
No, Mike Jacobs now lines this one in the right center. Tian takes a turn. He's going to third. Nelly Cruz up and firing, cut off. And a quick throw to first. They've got Jacobs in the rundown. Blaylock tags him out. Blaylock had to hustle back to first, and Elvis Andrews, kind of the fulcrum in the middle of that lever right there, made that play. So it's a runner at third, but a very important first out here in the fourth inning.
A lot of things went right. It was a good throw, number one, from Nelly Cruz to hit the cutoff man. You throw it over the cutoff man's head, and the batter ends up at second base. Heads up play by Andrus, who cut it off and threw it to Hank, and a good job in the rundown by Hank, who didn't let the man at third base advance. So that was a good defensive play.
Infield will come in for the Rangers now. Callaspo, the batter. Runner at third and just one out. This has been one of the tougher outs for Kansas City this weekend. Fastball up too high to a guy celebrating a birthday today, Callaspo. John Buck on deck. A 3-3 game in the fourth inning. Rangers lost yesterday 2-0. Up the line, that's a fair ball. And no play for Michael Young. I would suggest to you, though, not a tragedy, because now you've got a double play possibility to get out of the inning and a double play candidate coming up.
And it's smart not to throw that ball. With nobody on base, you might take a shot at it, but you risk a bad throw, letting a man score from third, and just a marginal chance at all to get a pretty good runner.
Buck hit a squibber right out in front of the plate in the second inning. Got to be careful, though. This is a guy that also can hit one out. Had 18 home runs a couple years ago and only 340 at bats. Three hits in the inning, and so far no runs. Number 9 guy on deck, Mitch Meyer, as Buck turns on one and fouls it. Yankee fans can step back from the ledge here, Tag. The Yankees are up 7-3 on Cleveland today. That game's in the bottom of the 8th. The Red Sox have won their game against the Orioles 2-1. John Lester, pretty impressive today.
Yeah, the Red Sox needed a well-pitched game from Lester. He got off to a little bit of a shaky start. Had a couple of subpar starts, especially for him. Really glad to see him come back with a good start.
Padilla brings it, and Buck is going to carve it towards right. It's down. It's a base hit to make it 4-3 Kansas City. 4 straight singles here in the 4th inning. And remember, in the 4th inning against Baltimore just the other day, it was 5 straight singles against Padilla. That's what drove him from the ball game. There's no action yet in the Ranger bullpen this afternoon, so that might change.
That's a slider that gets a lot of the plate. In fact, it's right in the center of the plate. And Buck does a nice job of ripping that ball to right field, but he got a pretty nice pitch to hit, too.
Now the pride of Novi, Michigan, Mitch Meyer. Walked and scored last inning. This is the guy that made the nice running play in the right field corner yesterday on a foul ball, slamming into that padded wall. Fly ball this time towards left center. David Murphy backing on it, and he's got it. '71 pitchers for Padilla now. He's trailing 4-3. These Royals trying to get to 8-4 for the young season. Rangers came in today 4-7, same record as the Angels, who are trailing in Minnesota today, by the way, and that game's getting late. They're in the 9th inning. Minnesota's ahead 3-1. They've got Joe Nathan in. Glenn Perkins off to a great start this year. He had a start for the Twins this afternoon. Came into that game with an ERA of about 1.4, 1.5. 8 innings of 4-hit ball today.
We saw Perkins last year pitch a nice game against the Rangers second half of the season. He's one of those lefties. He's not overpowering, but he knows how to pitch. Throws a lot of strikes.
Perkins, Blackburn, Baker, all those guys that have come up through the system for Minnesota, same deal.
Yeah, I think you don't get to the big leagues with the Twins if you don't throw strikes. All those kids throw strikes.
That started back when Brad Radke was coming up. You know, it's interesting, too, as we start thinking about Derek Holland getting his feet wet now, and eventually I'm sure Neftali Feliz as well. You know, Radke was one of those guys that when he first started out had an ERA of about 5 or 6 for the first couple of years. And as much as we've been singing the praises of Zach Greinke after what he did yesterday, let's not forget that Zach Greinke in 2005 was 5-17 with an ERA of 5.8.
Yep, you have to have patience with young pitchers. It's rare that a young pitcher in his early 20s just jumps right to the top in his first year.
Coco Crisp sends one back near Kinsler, and Ian's got it. Kansas City breaks the tie. It's 4-3. Bottom of the 4th coming up. Jones. First to do it was Willie Mays. Boy, and then Griffey in 97 and 98. He, from all accounts, has really re-energized things in Seattle. His return to that city, to that franchise. And the other guy, former Royal Mike Sweeney. They're really singing the praises of him, too. They're saying that his presence in the clubhouse, Griffey's return, that all that toxic stuff that apparently was around that clubhouse last year is just gone. And Seattle is the early season leader in the AL West at 8-4.
They've made some changes too. They've got a little more speed, acquired some players in the offseason hitting at the top of their lineup with speed, defensive proficiency, a little bit different look to their team right now.
Jack in the box standings, the Mariners on top, the only AL West team with a winning record. The A's have played 12 games. They've hit 3 home runs. The Rangers hit 3 in 2 innings the other night. Boy, Teagarden for a second time now has been called out on strikes. That one apparently rings the outside corner.
Once with a curveball, and that one was a slider. One thing we've seen last night from Greinke and right now from Davies, 2 young pitchers, both 25, that utilize 4 pitches: fastball, slider, curveball, and a changeup. I'm sure they each throw a couple of different kinds of fastballs too, a 2-seam and a 4-seam fastball. It gives a hitter a lot of different things to think about.
To third base, and Elvis Andrus will be thrown out. 2 up, 2 down in the bottom of the 4th, and give Kyle Davies some credit. It looked like in the first inning he may never throw a strike again, but he's come right back.
Well, it's just he just got into some kind of a mechanical thing, I would think, where he walked 4 guys, but since the 4th walk to David Murphy, the bases loaded walk, he hasn't walked anybody. He's given up the home run to Kinsler, and he gave up a single to Nelly Cruz, but no walks since the 4 walks in the first inning. He settled down nicely.
If he's in a groove, here's the guy that can ungroove him real quick. This is Kinsler. Single and 2 steals in the first inning, then a home run in the second inning. And hitting .479 now. Rolls it to second base. Nope, Davies stays in the groove. A 1-2-3, bottom of the 4th. Rangers down a run as we head to the 5th. Texas Ford dealers and by Aflac Insurance. About 25,000, I'd say, today on a very pleasant afternoon for baseball. The Rangers trail the Royals, though, 4-3. Kansas City threatening to wipe out the Rangers in this 3-game series. Plenty of baseball still left, though. It's up to Padilla to tame the Kansas Cityans in the top of the 5th. On the out-of-town scoreboard, the White Sox have taken it to Tampa Bay today. Won that game 12-2. Carlos Quentin hitting home run number 7 already. He might have led the league last year in the home runs, but he missed the last 5 weeks.
I think he would have.
Former Dallas Baptist star Ben Zobrist, another home run for Tampa Bay. He's got 3 already. Padilla disposing of Mike Aviles rather easily. It's an 0-for-3 afternoon for Aviles.
Same pitch he got him with last time.
Kind of flips that curveball in there.
Almost a carbon copy of the swing, too.
Toronto won again today. We mentioned that 1-0 over the A's. A's cast off Marco Scutaro. This might be the stat of the year. Marco Scutaro has more home runs than the entire Oakland A's team. Marco Scutaro.
He's playing some good ball for Toronto.
Boy, apparently.
Hitting at the top of their lineup.
Minnesota has defeated the Angels 3-1. The Tigers have an early lead on Seattle today, 1-0. Ooh, Padilla not missing by much. And with the fastball to DeJesus. The Rangers made sure they wouldn't get shut out again today. They got 2 very quickly against Kyle Davies, led 2-0 after 1. Kinsler hit a home run in the 2nd inning, but the Rangers have not scored since. That ball drilled by DeJesus up there towards the foul pole. Into the corner it goes. It is a fair ball, a home run. The first of the year for David DeJesus, and it's now 5-3.
Padilla's given up a couple of home runs. One just made it right down the left field line. That one just makes it right down the right field line.
Well, it's frustrating, too, because the 0-2 pitch to DeJesus really didn't miss by much. Nor did the 1-2 pitch, but the 2-2 pitch, gone. Three Kansas City, and here's Billy Butler. And the curve scrapes the corner. Well, the home run ball was a bit of a problem last year for Padilla. "26 home runs, a career high a year ago. That one is in for a strike. Billy Butler, 1, 2, 3 and done. The Rangers with some action in the bullpen now with Jason Jennings. The bullpen's been a real hit and miss thing for the Rangers this year. Overall, you don't like what's happening. The bullpen's ERA is 8.63, but Jennings and Frankie Francisco have both been really good. Notice those lob shot curveballs aren't drawing as many oohs and ahs now because he's been throwing a lot of them.
He's had a little bit better fastball today than in Detroit, but still not his fastball. Frequently you see his fastball and not just 91, but as high as 95, sometimes 96.
But 2 straight 59-mile-an-hour curveballs right there.
Now, Vinny's just trying, he doesn't have his best fastball, so he's using all his pitches, trying to figure out a way to get the Royals out.
Did he go? Yeah, he did. 1-2.
That's a splitter right there.
A little something different.
That's some pretty good movement to it. Looks like a changeup.
The 31-year-old Nicaraguan, Padilla. With a pitch count right at 90 for the afternoon. Down and in. Rangers will have 2, 3, 4 in the order coming up in the last of the 5th. Got Young and Hamilton and Andrew Jones up there. That one squirts up and outside. Well, the Royals without the guys that are normally their 4 and 5 hitters in this series. Jose Guillen and Alex Gordon on the DL, but they're scoring plenty for Trey Hillman. He got him on the outside corner. Padilla strikes out the side in the 5th, but a home run from DeJesus has made it 5-3. All fans will enjoy Big Bang fireworks presented by Windmill Suites. You can get $10 tickets and $5 parking when you enter fireworks as the coupon code on TexasRangers.com. Rangers in danger of getting swept by Kansas City. Need to find a way to come back. Young, Hamilton, and Jones against Kyle Davies, the 25-year-old from Atlanta. He got a chance to pitch for his hometown team for a little while. Rangers hoping to have that dynamic real soon. Blake Bevan, for example, from here in Irving. And Kyle Davies was a guy, he and Brian McCann, both of them, the catcher for Atlanta, they got a chance to be a part of that kitty core for the Braves in '05. First battery ever, I would think, Tag, that could both say they had pictures of themselves as kids posing with John Smoltz during a Little League parade. Davies and McCann, the first under age 22 battery in the big league since Doc Gooden and John Gibbons back with the 1984 Mets. Michael Young to right. There's Meyer. Of course, McCann has stayed with Atlanta. Davies has moved on. But that gets us to a topic that I kind of like talking about, Tag. You know, the Braves, they really do draft in and around the Atlanta area very well. And that's not by accident. They want to try to grow their organization with local talent if they can, when it makes sense to do so. And the Rangers, with this rich, fertile North Texas talent, no doubt they'd like to cultivate that as well. You can't make it exclusive. You can't say, well, we're just going to take guys from Texas. There's a big world out there to draw from. But for example, Chris Davis from just down the road in East Texas in Longview. Nice to be able to tell that story about a Ranger fan who basically hops from the bleachers out there onto the field.
One of their #1 draft choices a couple of years ago was Blake Bevan. He's from right next door in Irving. So I think any team would love to get kids right in their backyard. Draft makes that hard, though. You only get one pick every round, and there's 30 teams picking, so it's a little bit difficult to do it. And a lot of times what you have to do sometimes is overdraft a kid, because let's say you're picking at the end of the 4th round. You think a kid is a good 4th round pick. Well, by the time it gets to you, he's probably going to be picked, so you might have to take him in the 3rd round if you really want to get him. Bottom line is, you want kids that have talent that can make you a better organization.
Yep.
And if they're local kids, great.
Nice play in the crowd. Going to hand that off?
Looks like it. Trying to find a little one for it. He's more interested in his ice cream right now.
That dude will take it. That is very nice. If you are over 21 and catch a foul ball, if you find somebody under 12 to give it to, that's pretty nice. Hamilton, a tough day at the office here. 3 strikeouts. You, sir, can feel very good about yourself right there. Very nicely played. The steal pitch tracker. You see how Davies went after Hamilton. And here is Andrew Jones, as Davies really has found the rhythm now since that home run he allowed to Kinsler. He was retired 11 out of 12. He jumps ahead of Andrew Jones 0-2.
Well, Davies, as we said last inning, has done a great job of turning around what looked like a disastrous start. He got Teagarden to end the 1st inning after walking in a run and having 4 walks in the 1st inning, but he's pitched very well since then. He's got his pitch count up pretty high because it was over 30 pitches in the 1st inning. But he's retired 6 straight batters. 9 out of 10. Ten out of 11, actually.
Jones able to square the count at 2-2. He walked in that 1st inning. The Rangers drew 4 walks in the 1st inning. They don't have one since then. Davies has found his stuff again. Jones down on strikes, and at the end of 5, 5-3 KC.
So this is
Tonight's Ranger game on Fox Sports Southwest being presented by Amica Insurance. It's not just how you're covered, it's how you're treated. For more information, visit amicatexas.com. Vicente Padilla's day is done. He allowed 8 hits and 5 runs, all of them earned. And the Rangers will get Jason Jennings into the ball game now. The Mesquite native, former Mesquite Poteet Pirate, was also a star tight end on the football team and a high-scoring small forward in basketball. Out of the Ranger bullpen, not bad at all. Opponent's batting average of $154.
Well, depending on the workload of the bullpen, Vicente probably could have pitched longer in this game, but with an off day tomorrow, Ron Washington has some guys in the bullpen that I know he'd like to get into a game today, probably Frankie Francisco as well. You have to keep the guys sharp, and throughout the course of the season you go through periods where you have a hard time finding enough work for the guys in the bullpen, and other times where you don't know who's going to pitch next because they're overworked. With Kevin's complete game yesterday and an off day tomorrow, Ron's going to be looking for some innings for some of the guys out there today.
5 strikeouts for Padilla to go along with the 5 runs allowed in 5 innings. Done in by a couple of home runs. Mike Jacobs to the opposite field. David DeJesus hit one right down the line and right. Did Jacobs go? Sure looks like it. He did. Down on strikes.
Now, one thing we've seen from Jason that every time he's pitched this year is a really good sharp slider with deception that has fooled hitter after hitter. A lot of them out of the strike zone, but nevertheless pitches that the hitter can't hold off on.
Last 4 outs the Rangers have achieved now have been on strikeouts, and there's a strike to Callaspo. Of course, Jason Jennings had those 2 flexor tendon operations the last 2 years. And he was throwing free and easy in spring training. Velocity back to upper 80s. Not quite to how he was throwing when he burst onto the scene his rookie year as a Rocky. He had 16 wins in 2002. Jennings, remember, started his big league career 20-9 for a Colorado team that wasn't real good back then. Gives the Rangers 2 Baylor Bears on the field right now. David Murphy in left. And Jennings had just tremendous numbers in Waco. Teagarden took a pretty hard foul tip right there.
That was that good sinker at 88 miles an hour. We didn't see 88 miles an hour from Jason last year. One of the things the Rangers will want to see, find out, and I'm sure Jason will want to find out himself, is can he pitch back-to-back days? They haven't asked him to do that yet. They're just happy that he's throwing the ball as well as he is. But eventually that might be something that they try.
You got a Baylor Bear working to a Texas Longhorn here. That's the battery. Jennings to Teagarden. Big 12 well represented. Ian Kinsler, of course, went to Mizzou. Out there at second base for the Rangers. The 3rd college stop for Ian. That's how they talk about Ian on the Kansas City broadcast. The former Missouri Tiger. Ian grew up in the shadow of the University of Arizona down in Tucson, Arizona. Did Callaspo offer at it? No, since Tony Randazzo. And it was close. But the pitch was close, too.
Even without the swing, it looked like the pitch was pretty good. Must have been a little bit outside. Not low. Yep, a little bit outside.
On that steel pitch tracker. 3-2 delivery. Golfed into left center. Josh Hamilton has got it. We go to Jim Knox.
All right, thank you, Josh. Hey, we got the entire Logan High School here today. All 13 of them. They came all the way from New Mexico. This is they're singing the school fight song right now. Megan and Taylor, the homecoming king and queen. In football, is it how many men in football?
Eight men.
8-man football. Okay, Megan, and you are the homecoming queen. And you guys, how long did it take you to get here?
About 8 hours.
8 hours?
On a bus.
And you leave after the game, right?
Yes, sir.
So they're all big Ranger fans from New Mexico. Who's the bus driver?
That would be Frankie.
Frankie down, in the blue. Okay, I'm going to come down here. Frankie, congratulations. You're the progressive fan of the game because of the 8-hour trip down here. Now, going back, make that a 10-hour trip. Nothing over 55.
Exactly.
Okay, Frank? Okay.
Exactly.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you.
Big Ranger fans from New Mexico. Good to have you on hand. Thank you, guys.
3 cheers for the bus driver. Bus driver, bus driver. Thank you, Jim. Wave and a miss by John Buck, who's from Utah, but did not drive a bus to get here. One out of 2 day for Buck. The Royals have 8 hits for the afternoon. Rangers only have 3. 2 of those by Kinsler. One of them left the yard. They don't give out 2-week MVP awards in the American League, but it's got to be either Kinsler or Evan Longoria at this point. Second-year Tampa Bay player having a great month, too. Or I guess if you want to give it to a pitcher, Zach Greinke's on the list.
Well, we'll have a Pitcher and Player of the Month award.
That is true. Greinke's got that scoreless inning streak going back to last year of 34 innings now.
Does that record have to be all in one season, or Hershiser's record, or can you do that, go back to last season?
You know what? I don't know. John Buck will take a walk here with 2 out. Maybe they have 2 different records, you know, the most single season scoreless innings and then most, but yeah, he's still got a ways to go anyway.
Right.
I guess there's some precedent with the hitting streak of Jimmy Rollins that carried over from, I guess, 07 into 08. And they had said that that would be a new standard, I believe, if Jimmy Rollins had taken I think it was a 35-game end of season hitting streak. If he had tacked on 22 more to start the next season, I guess they would have given him credit for breaking DiMaggio's record. Those things tend to be gloriously moot a lot of times, though, because those are records that are pretty tough to make a run at, or at which to make a run, so I don't get an email from the grammar police.
It's probably harder to spread it over 2 years, because once you're in a good streak like that, as a pitcher, you're throwing the ball great.
Yeah.
Or as a hitter, you're hot. But when the season ends and the next one starts, who knows? You might not be in the same groove. It's tough to stay in a groove for 56 games, though.
That ball fouled back by Mitch Meyer. I really do think that that's one streak that is going to stay forever. The 56 gamer is just too hard. I mean, guys start pitching around you now. You've got to deal with a 9th inning flame throwing closer. All kinds of ways to get derailed.
You know, I would agree with you, except if Cal Ripken hadn't broken Lou Gehrig's record. But once that record was broken, I think you can say it's highly unlikely, but who knows, you know?
That's down and outside. Had that streak gone to 57 for Joe DiMaggio, the Heinz 57 people, the ketchup people, were going to pay him like 20 grand to do a big-time commercial, and it didn't quite happen. Although that was not the longest hitting streak of DiMaggio's career. He had one in the minor leagues of 61. It was a shot foul by Meyer down the line. For his hometown San Francisco Seals at the age of 18, Joe DiMaggio, a 61-game hitting streak.
Wow.
And the thing I always go back to, Tag, since 1987 anyway, there's been no player that sits safely in even 53 out of 56 games in the big leagues, let alone 56 out of 56. So to be that hot for that long, that's incredible. Runner goes, and down on strikes is Meyer, but Teagarden's got to throw him out. He does. Couple strikeouts in the inning for Jennings. And the Rangers need to start hitting. They'll have that opportunity when we come back. It's 5-3 KC. To a Ranger game, a dinner for two at Sonic. We're playing for Lewis Buckner of Grapevine today, and if a Ranger hits the grand slam during this inning, we're giving away $25,000, which is a beautiful thing. You can register at any North Texas Sonic restaurant. Blaylock's certainly a home run candidate. He's got 3 already this year. This will not be number 4. Whoop. Shortstop slipped with the left fielder. DeJesus bails out Aviles. The one thing we haven't mentioned about Hank that I think does bear mentioning, Tag, because I know Hank's got to be proud of it. He's striking out only every 14 at-bats so far this year. And year in, year out, normally that's more like every 5 or 6 at-bats for Hank. He's making better contact, working the count well. And those are the kinds of things that serve you well over the course of a long season.
That's for sure. Well, if you can cut your strikeouts in half, which is pretty difficult to do. But if you strike out 120 times, just cut it down to 80. That's 40 times you put the ball in play. And if you hit 250 over those 40 balls, that's 10 extra hits in the course of the year. That's whatever, 15 or 20 points on your batting average.
Check your Firestone box score today. A 5-3 Kansas City lead. Good things can happen when you put the ball in play. I know this is a big-time simplification, but you make some contact and you can invoke the old you never know at that point. You don't make contact and you can't. Nelson Cruz is a good example of that. When he first came up to the big leagues, he was striking out about every 4 or 5 times. And now it's more like every 10 or 11 times. More opportunities to make something happen. There's a patient at bat. Second walk for Cruz today. David Murphy to the plate. And there is action now in that Royals bullpen. Kyle Davies with that pitch count over 100.
Now batting left fielder David Murphy.
David Murphy says he's not pressing, and we believe him, but I'm sure a first base hit of the year would make him feel really good. Former Ranger Jamie Wright getting ready out there. We've said it often, nobody notices an extended offer if it happens in June or July, but when it's right out of the chute, people do notice that if you're 0 for 16. Robin Ventura once had an 0 for 41. Louis Aparicio, great hitter, had an 0 for 45 at one point in his career. So 0 for 16, no biggie. Jose Canseco had an 0 for 40 with the A's his rookie year and still won Rookie of the Year that year. Speaking of Robin Ventura, every time they play that highlight here before the game, Chuck Morgan does such a great job with the in-stadium entertainment. And that's one of the all-time Arlington highlights, is Nolan Ryan pounding the heck out of Robin Ventura. Murphy a wave and a miss. It's pretty funny. You and I have both seen this. The players on the other team, when that video rolls, the players on the other team just start elbowing each other. Look at that. Look at Nolan wailing on that guy. Wave and a miss by Murphy.
Good combination of pitches right there. Saw a fastball early in the count to get ahead. You saw a changeup and then a fastball. Good combination of pitches. You have to give Davies a lot of credit for the way he's hung in here. Has a chance to give his team 6 innings and end up with a quality start. Sure didn't look like that in the first inning, but that's the sign of a kid who's maturing and a sign that he's becoming a really good pitcher, that you can turn around a bad start like that. 4 walks in the first inning and give your team 6 innings. Hasn't walked a batter since then. He's throwing well. All his pitches right now, especially his slider, his changeup, and his fastball.
One hit since the Kinsler home run in the second inning. That ball popped foul by Teagarden. Well, it looked like Washington had that second win of the year, Tag, but the Marlins have just scored 4 in the top of the 9th to go ahead 7-4. So the Fish could go to 11-1. The Nationals would be 1-10. Atlanta lost by 10 yesterday, won by 10 today, beat the Pirates 11-1. The Braves have been shut out back-to-back games, but that did not happen today, an 11-1 win. Outside, 1-2. The Astros are trailing the Reds in the 9th inning, 3-1. Both of the Texas teams, the Rangers and the Astros, came in 4-7 today. Tried to tempt him right there. Teagarden would not take the bait. 2-2. The Royals pitchers have been piling up strikeouts in this series, and pretty much all year. There's another. It's an 0 for 3 day for Teagarden with 3 punch-outs, and a 3-hitter for Davies. 5-3 Kansas City. Summarizing for you as we go to the 7th inning, it's been a big day for Ian Kinsler, but Kyle Davies kind of stealing the show right now. The number 3 starter for Kansas City. He was falling right in line with how Gilmesh did and how Zach Greinke did earlier in this series. After a 4-walk first inning and 3 stolen bases for the Rangers in that first inning, not a lot of issues for 25-year-old Kyle Davies. Arlington's Trey Hillman, the Royals manager. A fatherly arm around Kyle Davies. Vicente Padilla started for the Rangers today. He went 5 innings, allowed the 5 runs. Young in a bit at third. There's a strike from Jennings. We'll try and run through some more scores for you here on the top of the 7th. This one is 5-3 KC as Crisp has to jump out of the way. Coco Crisp, formerly of the Indians and the Red Sox. The Indians lost today to the Yankees 7-3. Boston defeated Baltimore 2-1.
Oh, pretty good quick actions by a big guy right there. Jason pounced on that ball.
He did.
Nice quickness.
1 up, 1 down. Mike Avila's coming up. And folks, bring any regular or diet Dr. Pepper can to the Rangers ticket office for half-price tickets to Ranger home games here in April or May. Some restrictions do apply. That's sponsored by Mix 1029. And for more info, you just call 972-RANGERS. They've been pitching Mike Aviles well in this series. There's a strike from Jennings.
Vicente struck him out a couple of times with nice curveballs.
A little bit of Julio Franco action with that bat. Up there it is Mike Aviles. Ground ball slowly hit. There's Andrews coaxing it and firing to get him.
Another good outing for Jason so far.
White Sox over Tampa Bay. That's gone final 12-2. Carlos Quentin home run number 7. Gavin Floyd the win. Matt Garza roughed up in that game. Boy, and the Angels now 4-8. They managed only 4 hits today. Minnesota a 3-1 win. Jennings is done. C.J. Wilson coming on. They got the lefty David DeJesus coming up. So we take a pitching change break, and we're back after this with our score 5-3. And a little bit later, by the way, we're going to hear from Jared Saltalamacchia, today's Dodge Grab Light feature. Jared very familiar with the Kansas City starter today, Kyle Davies. They were minor league teammates for a while. Now C.J. Wilson takes over. Going lefty-lefty here. David DeJesus has a home run today, his first of the year. Rangers trying to stay within range. See if they can get to that Kansas City bullpen over the back third of the game. CJ had that one unfortunate inning in relief of Kevin Millwood in Detroit, but other than that, he's been okay. The ERA took a pounding, though, because of that 6-run eighth. 3 of those 6 runs were earned. Tigers lead the Mariners 4-1 today. That game's in the 4th inning. Toronto beat Oakland 1-0. Ricky Romero goes to 2-0 with a 4-hitter through 7. And right here in the finale of the homestand, 5-3 Kansas City. The Rangers in danger of winning just once on the homestand. Base hit over a leaping C.J. Wilson. It's kind of a soft line drive from DeJesus.
He had a breaking ball. CJ got ahead of him. Got him to swing at actually got him to swing at a 2-1 pitch, a little out of the strike zone. And a curveball outside. Just served it in the center field. Hit it. Looked like a little bit off the end of the bat. DeJesus came into the game at 186, but he's had 3 hits in the game, including a home run, and knocked in a couple.
Kansas City started this series hitting just .216 as a team. That ball inside, and DeJesus scrambles to second base to tag. They got him. Great recovery by Taylor Teagarden. Erasing DeJesus and getting us to the 7th inning stretch. We will keep it right here. The singing of God Bless America on this Sunday afternoon here in Arlington. Again, our score right now, 5-3 KC.
Major League Baseball, as we pause to honor America and the men and women of our armed services who are serving the country both at home and abroad. Today, Sarah Stokes honors America with the singing of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet
steal. To the bottom of the 7th inning, and some changes for Kansas City. They tighten it up defensively. They get Tony Pena Jr. in there at short. We've seen the last of Kyle Davies on the mound. The skinny right-hander Juan Cruz, a very nice pickup for the Kansas City Royals. It's hard to believe that he was unemployed for a while heading into spring training.
Yeah, he was available for a long time. He ended up getting a nice contract from Kansas City, 2 years at $6 million. But as well as Davies' pitch, it doesn't get any easier now because Cruz has a great arm, hard breaking ball.
And meantime, for Kyle Davies, for a guy that couldn't throw a strike in the first inning, he really ended well.
I think you really give him a lot of credit. It's a sign that a young pitcher shows maturity, that he can overcome 4 walks in the first inning. To only walk one more batter, keep his team in the game, ends up with a quality start.
And collectively, the Rangers went 1 for their last 15 against him today. Nelson Cruz, no relation to Juan Cruz, the only base hit. Andrews, a wave and a miss. (9-1-2) in the Rangers batting order. Best hitter the Rangers have had today has been Kinsler. Had the home run in the second, a single back in the first. Well, the glove of the catcher, John Buck, just pops with that 92-mile-an-hour pitch from Cruz. Former Diamondback in Oakland A brings it. And another foul from Elvis. Into a crowd of 27,635 today. Next chance to see the Rangers live and in person here in Arlington will be Tuesday, April 28th. Got him.
That's a good slider right there.
Power slider.
Right on the corner, too. It was a strike.
Home run and a couple of stolen bases for Kinsler today. All of that by the second inning. Of course, he had the cycle by, what, the 6th inning the other night. A little bit of research tells us that at least over the last 50 years, Tag, I found one guy that cycled all the way before the 6th inning. That was Greg Jeffries. Did it by the 5th inning for the Phillies. Yep. Look at Ron Mayhay getting ready. Rip and a miss. Kinsler almost had time to cycle up twice. He got up 6 times. He went 6 for 6.
Popped that one in there at 96. You can tell he put a little extra on that one.
Kinsler prides himself on being able to turn on even the best fastballs. A nice little battle here. Other than Kinsler, only one hit for the Rangers today, that from Nelson Cruz in the 3rd. It's been a real all or nothing kind of offensive attack for the Rangers so far this year. They've had games of 18 hits and 19 hits, but also games of 2 and 3. Michael Young limbering up on deck. It is 3-2 to Kinsler. And he takes ball 4.
He threw a 96-mile-an-hour fastball for a strike, and then three straight sliders to walk him.
So Kinsler now the walk, the single, and this, the Coors Light. Freeze cam will show you Ian Kinsler's point of contact. The home run in the second inning, his 4th home run of the young season. Michael Young slaps it out of play. Michael had that 5,000th career Ranger at bat last night. Only 3 Rangers other than Michael have ever had more than that. Rafael Palmeiro, Pudge, and Juan Gonzalez. So that is some rarefied Ranger air that he's in right now, being in that fraternity. Because Michael Young is signed long-term, unless he gets hurt or something like that, it would appear that Michael Young will become the all-time leader in at-bats for this franchise.
I'd like to see him get one of those many line drives to right field right here.
Foul tip instead. They'll get on base and let Josh Hamilton turn his day around. It's one of the best baseball sayings, how it only takes one at bat to have a good day. And Josh has struck out 3 times already today, but well, a home run in the 7th inning would kind of turn that. Up and outside to Young, 2-2. The Rangers have drawn 6 walks today. That's got to make for a happy hitting coach. Rudy Jaramillo has seen his team average only 3 walks per game so far. Of course, I think a lot of that is who the Rangers have had to face. Young strikes out. It's one thing to say, hey guys, be patient, but if you're up against Zach Greinke, who's throwing strikes all day, you might as well swing, right?
He's not going to walk you. Boy, Michael saw some pretty nice pitches. That hard fastball on the outside corner, and then the really good slider. Might have been slightly out of the strike zone, but it's tough to determine that as a hitter when you've got 2 strikes on you.
Former Ranger Ron Mayhay is ready in the bullpen, and Trey Hellman wants to go lefty versus lefty here with Josh Hamilton coming up. Hamilton a chance to tie the game when we return. It's 5-3 Kansas City. Horns. In a 5-3 game, and the Rangers have Josh Hamilton up against the former Ranger reliever Ron Mayhay. Josh has struck out all 3 at bats today. But as you know, Josh fully capable of turning on one, even against a tough lefty like Mr. Mayhay. Ron was solid for the Royals a year ago. Remember, he went from the Rangers to the Braves along with Mark Teixeira a couple of years back. Then from the Braves to these Royals. Hamilton with a foul. And a hittable first pitch for Josh Hamilton that time. He hasn't been getting a lot of those.
One thing the Royals have tried to do is add some veteran arms in setup relief roles to go along with their excellent closer, Joakim Soria, and their vastly improved starting rotation. Juan Cruz was one of the additions. Kyle Farnsworth was another one. Ron Mayhay's another veteran guy they've got. Guys they can use in the 6th, 7th, and 8th innings. And Soria, one of the better closers in the league. And you combine that with the 3 starting pitchers we've seen in this series. Sidney Ponson, who's certainly a capable starter, and it's makings of a pretty nice pitching staff.
Hamilton takes the count to 2-2. Andrew Jones on deck, and there's more action in that Kansas City bullpen. Runner will be in motion now. 3-2, 2 out. Rangers have had twice as many walks as hits today. And they're trailing 5-3. Kinsler goes. Hamilton with a foul. There's a hard-throwing, large human being down there, Kyle Farnsworth. Kinsler goes again. Hamilton fouls it again. Only once last year did Josh strike out 4 times in a game. He's trying to make sure that doesn't happen to him here today. Under the bright sunshine, Josh has admitted he does not tend to see the ball as well during the day than as he does at night. Makes some contact here and lifts it near Tian. He misjudged one earlier, but he's got this one, and the Rangers are turned away. 5-3 Kansas City into 7th.
transmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Texas Rangers.
Three baseball game, and Kansas City's up in the top of the 8th inning. C.J. Wilson will continue. We've seen Padilla and Jennings, and now C.J. Wilson today. The Rangers had 2 runs on just 1 hit in the first inning. Got a Kinsler home run in the second inning. Been zeros ever since. And the Rangers hit the road when this one is over. They will take off tomorrow to Toronto. Start playing the Blue Jays Tuesday night. That is a 6:07 first pitch, North Texas time on Tuesday night. That game will be on May 27. And the Rangers have to go against another very tough right-hander, Roy Halladay. The Rangers have actually hit Halladay pretty well the last couple of years. But Halladay is 3-0.
Including that ball that Kevin Mench hit back at him, too.
Yeah, that's the one that
derailed what would have been another Cy Young Award-winning season for him, it looked like.
I've not heard any dispatches from Japan to hear if Kevin Mench owns that country yet.
I haven't either. I haven't heard a thing about that.
Or Cam Lowe, for that matter. Cam's in Japan. Butler takes a cut at it and sends it high in the air behind Andrews and to Hamilton. With the Clubhouse Cap combo, you get a one-day pass for the Crown Plaza Invitational at Colonial Golf Tournament at the end of May, a ticket to any Rangers game in June, and a cap with Rangers and Colonial logos, all for just $50. To take advantage of this fine offer, go to TexasRangers.com. Mark Teahan takes in too tight. The Reds have beaten the Astros today 4-2. Houston now 4-8. Former Ranger Coco Cordero got the save, his 4th already for Cincinnati. Nice start for the Reds this year. They're above 500. In for a strike to Teahan. Randy Johnson's pitching against his old team today. The Giants lead the Diamondbacks 1-0 in the 6th. And the big unit is not allowed a hit yet in the 6th inning.
Wow.
How about that?
Still got some pitching left in him. Might not be as consistent as he used to be. Might not throw as hard as he used to, but still knows what he's doing out there.
Sure. Well, and he's heading towards 300 wins. Will be the last for a long time to get there, it looks like. Just outside 2-2. The 8th inning pitch tracker brought to you by Amica Insurance. It's not just how you're covered, it's how you're treated. 3-2. Frankie Francisco getting ready. The Rangers need to make sure he stays sharp, huh?
Yeah, he needs some work.
Been nothing to close of late. Andrews backing up C.J. Wilson. Got him.
And it's easy to get Frankie an inning today because you have an off day tomorrow. Sometimes you worry a little bit about it as a manager. You don't want your closer to go out there and throw 25 pitches and possibly not be ready for the next day when you need a save. But the Rangers have that off day tomorrow. And if anything, you'd have to say Frankie needs to pitch today just to stay sharp for the first game up in Toronto.
Good day for Mike Jacobs. A home run and a single. Takes a strike.
Last time Frankie pitched was the 14th. That was against the Orioles. It's been 5 days since he pitched.
Yep, one way or another, Frankie was going to pitch today. You can't let him go an entire week without throwing.
No, and Jason hadn't pitched in about the same amount of time, so he needed to work today too.
Boy, everything except the score is perfect today. Got those red hats to all the fans. Got a beautiful afternoon. Soft breeze blowing here in Arlington. And a fly ball hovering into right field. Nelson Cruz puts it away, and now the Rangers coming up bottom 8 with only 3 hits on the board all day. See if they can go to work now. Fox Sports Southwest being presented by Amica Insurance. It's not just how you're covered, it's how you're treated. For more information, visit amicatexas.com. (5-3) Kansas City, bottom of the 8th now. Josh Lewin along with Tom Grieve and Jim Knox. And thank you for joining us on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Andrew Jones with a walk in the first inning. Only time he's been on base, maybe until now. Driving it deep. And able to hang on is DeJesus.
He almost caught that thing twice, it looked like. Couldn't tell if it hit out of his glove and then hit the wall. Looked like it bounced off his glove twice. Great try by DeJesus. But a good start to the inning for Andrew Jones, who continues to sting the ball.
Well, the first hit for the Rangers since the 3rd inning. And DeJesus almost robbed him, but not quite. Check it out.
The ball touched his glove twice. I couldn't tell whether it touched the wall in between touches. Almost a great play, though.
Little snatchback possibility right there. Didn't quite get it. And again, the Rangers have the tying man up. This time it's Blaylock against his old buddy, Mr. Mayhay. We go from playing cards with each other to facing each other. They've got the hard-throwing right-hander Farnsworth ready in the bullpen. One ball, one strike, the count to Blaylock. A 5-3 lead for Kansas City. Runner at second base and nobody out. 2 balls, 1 strike. Boy, I'd love to see Nellie Cruz come up with a chance to put the Rangers ahead. Foul back, 2-2. 5-3 Kansas City, bottom 8. The Rangers trying to salvage this, the final game of the 3-game series. They lost 12-3 and 2-0 Friday and Saturday. The 2-2. Pounded towards first. Dropped. Jacobs dropped it again and again and again, and he throws it away.
That's one of those balls where you bobble it once and then just a little bit of panic sets in, and you reach for it and reach for it and you can't pick it up. It's off the heel of his glove. He's still got a chance right there. But by the time he finally gets a handle on it, he doesn't have a chance, and Rangers hopefully can take advantage of this opportunity.
You ever try to find a light switch in the dark? That's what it looks like over there at first base. The Rangers have runners at the corners, nobody out. And that's it for Ron Mayhay. Kyle Farnsworth is ready. The Rangers leading home run man Nellie Cruz is ready too. We'll come back and see how it unfolds right after this. Rangers threatening bottom 8, and folks, any Ranger fan can get the team's official pregame notes, the same ones that Tom Grieve and I receive. Just go to Press Pass at the news menu on TexasRangers.com. And well, after Kyle Farnsworth was warming, I thought that's who was coming in, Tag. But
when you said Kyle Farnsworth, I watched him warm up out there. I thought he was coming in too. And generally, you would expect that Farnsworth would be in the ball game in this situation, but not today. It's Jamie Wright.
Jamie Wright, who was up and warming earlier, sneaks into the ball game here and has done some fine work so far as a Kansas City Royal. The Rangers really rode Jamie Wright last year, used him in all kinds of different situations.
Well, what they may be looking here is a sinker and a ground ball and a possible double play. Might be.
Boy, that's exactly it. Slowly hit though. Safe there, out there.
Oh, good base running by Hank. He ran right around him. So they didn't get a double play. They got a run, and they moved the man into scoring position. So almost what they were looking for, but it came out pretty well for the Rangers.
Yeah, the ball too slowly hit, and Hank kind of limboed his way around there, stayed in the baseline. So it works. Well, I guess you could say kind of like a sacrifice would have. Jones scores the run.
Yeah, I mean, you'll take that in that situation, move a guy into scoring position.
And Murphy still waiting for that first hit of the year. Has a chance to tie the game or even give the Rangers the lead. First one's a strike. Right on that inside edge. High fly ball into shallow right. Grab. And the Rangers have Chris Davis in the on-deck circle. He will come up instead of Teagarden. I guess Saltalamacchia the other option, which would allow you to do a straight-up switch, catcher for catcher, but Davis, powerful left-hand bat, he's going to get the opportunity here in a 5-4 game. Tying man at second, and Davis pinch hitting against the former Ranger, Mr. Wright. One pinch hit appearance last year for Chris Davis, and he was successful. 1 for 1. On the ground, it is deflected, and here comes Blaylock. He's going to try. The throw from Kayaspo. Save!
That's almost the same play that Ian had early in the ball game. Dive, knock a ball down with a man on second. The ball rolled away from Ian. He couldn't make the throw. Kayaspo had a shot, made a nice play, made a good throw. Short hop the catcher, though. And Hank had just enough time to slide in.
Kind of hydroplaning in to tie the game at 5 on a pinch hit single by Chris Davis. Now Elvis Andrews, the hitter. And a base hit into right. Davis storms to second base and will stop. Kinsler coming up.
It looked like that throw, short hopped Buck, who had to scoop it and couldn't really catch it and wheel around with his glove hand. Yeah, it did. It took a short hop, and he had to really concentrate on catching it. It's actually a real nice play by Buck to come as close as he did.
Chris Davis 2 for 2 as a pinch hitter in the big leagues now. He's the go-ahead man, and Ian Kinsler the batter. High fly ball right field. But the Rangers, who were being 3 hit through 7 innings, get 3 hits in the 8th. There was a big error in the mix as well as the Rangers come back and tie the game. here. He will work in a tie game in the 9th inning.
Well, instead of a save, you're looking for a win right here. Frankie's well rested. If he doesn't have a high pitch inning and the game remains tight, he can come back out for a 2nd inning if you wanted him to.
Saltalamakia catching, taking over for Taylor Teagarden. Teagarden had been lifted for the pinch hitter, and Chris Davis came through with that single off the glove of Cayaspo. Frankie Francisco quickly ahead of Cayaspo, 0-2. Sets up well in the bottom of the 9th for the Rangers. 2-3-4 in the order. Kansas City with the bottom 3rd of the order here. Cayaspo, Buck, and Meyer. Cayaspo blasting away in a right center field. Nelly Cruz back. He's got it.
Nelly was playing him pretty deep and shaded a little bit towards center field. He got a good jump on the ball. Off the bat, when I saw Cayaspo hit that ball, I thought it might have a chance, but Nelly hadn't played well.
Now John Buck, who is a power threat. He's never put the ball in play against Frankie. He's faced him 4 times, 3 walks and a strikeout. The Rangers today 2 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, 2 in the 8th. Kansas City 2 in the 2nd, had single runs in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And it adds up to 5-5 in the 9th. In for a strike. Farnsworth and Osorio both ready. Osorio is the closer. Buck lays off. Now we're headed for an exciting finish one way or another. It was one of those in Philly today. The Phillies got 2 in the 9th to overtake San Diego 5-4. Raul Ibanez, the game-winning home run. Right there, down he goes.
First fastball he saw. Threw him splitters and curveballs to get ahead. Finished him off with a fastball. Didn't like the call, but that's a strike.
Well, give the Ranger bullpen some credit. Since the David DeJesus home run in the 5th inning, Kansas City is 1 for 13. Now the number 9 hitter, Mitch Meyer. And a pop-up heading towards the crowd. Young guards the line at 3rd base. Same story over there at 1st base for Blaylock. And Francisco getting ahead, 2 strikes. Curveball almost got that inside corner. Ron Washington thought it did get the inside corner.
Pitch tracker didn't. A little bit inside. Whoa.
That was close as well with a fastball, 2-2.
Best fastball by Frankie.
Yeah, that was a strike. That was a strike.
Yeah, that definitely wasn't low. That's all the way in the rectangle.
Little floater that Andrews will go and get. And now here come the Rangers in the bottom of the ninth. Michael Young to lead it off, and then Josh Hamilton. Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. By Infinity, luxury cars that inspire at every turn. By Progressive, for a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE. And by your Texas Ford dealers. Check out the all-new F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. Last year, the Rangers, in 81 home games, they had walk-off wins in 8 of those. Not had that quite yet here in 2009. We're super early in this season, but the Rangers in danger of dropping to 4-8. Have a chance to make sure that doesn't happen. They've got to go get Kyle Farnsworth, who has that 17th century ERA right now, 16.20. But this guy throws hard.
It's been a slow start so far for him. 6 hits, 6 runs in 3 1/3. But you're right, he can light up the radar gun in the upper 90s usually.
Michael Young, Josh Hamilton, Andrew Jones in the bottom of the ninth. The Rangers plated 2 in the 8th to tie it. A lot of the left field corner available here for Michael Young. These outfielders are stationed like Michael's going to hit it the other way, which, as you know, is often the case with Michael Young. But if Farnsworth is going to go change-ups away, or sliders away here to Michael Young, now we'll see how it shakes out. You got the third baseman in just a bit. Michael Young hits it high, hits it deep. Michael Young has hit it out. The Rangers walk off with a 6-5 win.
Well, that's one of the longest balls Michael's hit. Halfway up the seats in left center field. Boy, the Rangers needed that one.
Drop into some abyss. The face of the franchise pulls one out. Literally. A 6-5 final as the Rangers come all the way back. Only 2 pitches into the bottom of the 9th, and it's over.
The outfitters didn't even go back after that. They just watched that thing. As high as it was hard to tell. But when it came down, it was halfway up the seats in left center field.
We have not seen many off the bat of Michael Young go any farther than that. No doubt about it, shot against Farnsworth, who just started walking off the mound after he threw it.
Well, Farnsworth falls to 0-3 on the season.
Now the Rangers in danger of dropping to 4-8, and instead they're a happy 5-7. And a great way to end the homestand and get him going towards Toronto. Jim Sundberg yelling loud enough for us to hear up here. Another number 10 that used to hit him occasionally. And they're waiting for the current number 10 at home plate.
Rudy was on the outside of that pile, got knocked right off it.
Michael Young had 1 walk-off winner last year. He's already gotten 1 this year. This one a home run. We go to Jim Knox.
All right, thank you, Josh. Mike Young comes up with the game winner. You come to the plate. What are you looking for in that situation?
Well, the only thing I do know is that Farnsworth has great stuff, has a great fastball, great slider. Our bullpen came in and did a great job. I was just trying to look for a strike, trying to set the table for the guys behind me. Got lucky and got up in the air.
It's been a tough series against the Royals. They get the shutout last night. Today everything was selling along, but you got to say enough for your teammates. You come back, you battle back, you tie it in the 8th, then you get the game winner.
Yeah, they're a good club, and they play well against us this series, but we definitely needed a win here going on the road. Hopefully we'd have a good trip, come back with some momentum.
Yeah, that has to be huge. A big win like this. Now you guys head off to the road for a 7-game series.
Yeah, we need it. We're playing 2 teams that are playing really well. We're going to miss our home crowd, but hopefully we come back, get some more wins. They can come back here and get pumped up again.
All right, Mike, congratulations on the big game. Thank you. Josh.
Thank you, Jim. Michael Young carries the day today. The Rangers get 2 in the 8th, and then the walk-off home run from Michael Young in the 9th, and your final is 6-5. Rangers live right now. Dana and Evan Grant standing by.
Well, thank you.